This is my favourite of all Rembrandt's life drawings. It can be read geometrically.
It's one of several studies Rembrandt made of Hendrike Stoffels in his search for the pose of the painting Bathsheba, which is now in the Louvre. I regard this as a canonical drawing, particularly for sculptors, because it describes a particular individual with such precision. Rembrandt can do this because of his geometric syntax. The light illuminates the side plane and strikes across her back, defining with exquisite clarity the forms. So I made this little figure to substitute for the real Hendrike. And you can see how, if I put this plastic around, how that creates a block such as a sculptor would have used in stone, with this plane here very strongly and clearly demarked by the stool and by the light here.
This cube creates a space envelope within which every mark has precise space coordinates, like an engineer's or an architect's drawing. As Rembrandt draws across the two-dimensional surface, he imagines placing the parts in space. Experts have found this drawing weak in the rendering of form. The contours are weak and hesitant. The modelling of the back gives the impression of being over-detailed and cautious. On the other hand, I've been able to read it so perfectly I can confidently make a three-dimensional figure from it. Rembrandt is spatially legible in a way which the older masters cannot begin to equal. The experts are stuck in their expectations of the old syntax. They do not understand Rembrandt's at all. This important drawing has been de-attributed from Rembrandt's work.
This is no idealized goddess, but a beloved mistress, seen and loved as she is, no longer in the first bloom of youth. Her knee is seen with just that extra squareness about it that Sickert describes in his appreciation of the Polish rider. The wading woman from the National Gallery works in much the same way. Starting from the isosceles triangle laid diagonally in space, made by her neckline, we can trace parallel triangles made by joining her elbows to her knee, another implied by the angle of her chin to the back of her head, and yet a fourth implied by the horizontal drapery behind her, and the point at which the reflection of her leg leaves the picture.
This whole structure also fits into a block in much the same way as the seated version of Hendrike.
Her forehead defines the near angle of the block. Here we see Degas following the same practice even more clearly than Rembrandt. He defines his eye level with a view of the tabletop. The comer's head is clearly block-like. See the way the fringe echoes the direction of the edge of the table. Then every movement is sharply articulated in space. Their arms and hair make a kind of angled H shape. This is the clearest possible demonstration of geometric space construction.
For more information, see my blog and the Save Rembrandt website.